we got here the new and improved Coco Ultimates. Let's take a look at a few cubes. This is my, I believe, 4th or 5th box. Let's pull some out. So, I do have some on my hands, but it's not too bad. As far as consistency, there's a few rough edges, but they're all about the same size. I haven't seen any outliers on that, so let's throw some on here. If somebody could do me a favor and put the exact time in the comments. If somebody puts the time in the comments, that will give me an idea of how long these are lasting. Well, here I got it, 10:05. I forgot. Got the Fitbit with the little flick. So I think we're just going to go with the AFDA. Why not? It's a classic. And mix that up with some orange. Maybe throw a pinch of Tropical Revenge in there. And we're sitting at 10:08. Coals are somewhat getting there. There we go. Alright, let's pack some up. Very pleased with the low light on the front facing on this. A lot better than the V10. Okay. What bowl are we going to use? A Super Chief, I already said that. Where the hell is it? Seems to have disappeared into the ether. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we got our Super Chief here. That's a moderately deep bowl. Personal favorite of mine. Excellent flavor in clouds. So let's load this up. AF normal pack. This is simple stuff. You guys should know this. If not, check out Sarkis's video that he just put out. I hope you guys are enjoying the ambient, non-copyrighted music. I've had plenty of flags in my time, which is kind of annoying because I don't make any profit off of these videos. But I want to keep it flag-free, so... Alright. So we're sitting at... Let's see... Sit at 10:10. I'm going to try to pack this relatively fast and not dawdle around, because I tend to do that until my coals are considerably smaller. I don't like to mix. I'm going to get some paper towels. Okay. So we've portioned out some double apple. Throw in some AF Golden Orange. Almost gone. Need to get more of that so I can review it. It's pretty excellent. So, throw in some orange. Now, this video might actually give you an idea of how meticulous I am when I pack a bowl. Because I've done some quick videos before, but when I'm personally packing a bowl that only I'm going to smoke, I get pretty picky. I usually fluff it in, and then I will kind of play around with a toothpick, almost like a surgeon with it, because I'm very picky about that. I get pretty OCD when it comes to the way my bowl looks. Okay. And I don't normally put my hands in Tangiers either, but desperate times, desperate measures. Let's throw just a pinch of the Tropical Revenge. It's very pungent stuff. And I probably mixed more than I will need, but I'll just throw the excess. I'm not that worried about it. Alright. So, with the Super Chief, as with the Apache, you know, you just... as those coals are lighting, I will note that the smell is pretty minimal. I don't think you're ever going to find a coconut coal that doesn't smell like a barbecue. But these aren't bad at all. They don't smell like binding agents and whatever else, so not too bad. So I just mix these up in my hand, sprinkle it in real nice, and let's see. Just going to start tossing some excess down onto the table. Okay. So now I'm just clearing the center. I don't normally do packing
on video, because unlike Sarkis, I'm not a speed demon with it. I'm a very particular guy, and I don't think most people's patience is really equipped for that. Okay, so we started at about 10:06. Let me just take a quick glimpse at these holes. It is now 10:13, so we're sitting at a 7-minute mark. We're about halfway. I'm just gonna flip these around real quick with these scissors because my tongs are all on the hookah table. So those are almost done. That's a pretty good light up time. Of course, your mileage will vary, as I am using my stove. I actually purchase spare burners and throw them into my stove. I don't buy the plug-in burners that some people do. So once I have everything settled into place, I like to take my little piece poker here and my hands, and I kind of do some teamwork there and move everything around to my liking. And the reason that I always tell people that although this bowl's fantastic, I'm receiving messages, okay. I tell people that even though this bowl's fantastic, I don't use it as often as I would like because it is a tad bit of a pain to pack. When you look at the bowl like the Apache, that center button, if that's what you want to call it, is fairly raised. But it's much lower in the Super Chief, so what you have to do is you actually have to build a wall of tobacco. And when the OCD kicks in, I like that wall to be very, very straight, very 90-degree angle, and that can be a pain to achieve. And this will not be the most perfect pack that I've ever made, but I can assure you it will smoke phenomenally. I don't know what I was saying there, maybe falafel-y or something, I don't know. So, oh, got a little piece here, and that fits nicely into this little slot. Okay, so, not the most beautifulest pack in the world, but it'll do. Let me make sure all these holes are cleared. And there we go. Those coals are just about done. If somebody wants to give me a time marker, or I can scroll down a tad here. It is 10:16. So looking about 10 minutes. 10 to 12 is pretty average. I mean, light time isn't what I would really say makes it or breaks a coal. So, I mean, do with that what you will. Now, with the foil, what I like to do to get the foil really tight is I pull down one side, and then I come around, hold it down very firmly, and kind of pull the tail down around, and I rip a lot, that's for sure. I use too much force, I just ripped it, but it's ripped pretty far down here. So, what we have is pretty drum tight here. Just poke some holes. So let's go ahead and glowing red, and that is one of the things that makes these coals so excellent. Neiman, I spoke with him the other day. Very proud of that man. He spent 16 months perfecting these coals, and it shows. And very economical pricing too. I believe it was $70 for the crate. I may be wrong on that. While I'm sitting here, and this is starting up, if somebody has any clue or wants to pop into that site and check that out. Alright, so got the let's see if I flip this around here. So got the Fat Boy bass, got the Pablo. Know why you look so sad and ashamed you didn't do anything. And I just gave this a ketchup bath today. So this is gonna take a minute to start up.
10:25. So I've had the lid closed on this for about 10 minutes. And normally what would happen is you'd pop that lid off. You'd see the coals a little black. Let's take a look at how these coals are doing. Well, probably have to take that off. It's very bright in here, but look how glowing red that is. And the heat actually goes up when I just can't get over that. It blows my mind that when you close that lid and you kill off all that air, these coals work so well that they don't black out. And actually, I should have done this, but I kind of forgot. But I was told that when testing, Neiman tested them by dunking them in water and seeing how well they worked, and he still got crazy longevity out of them. Pablo is very unimpressed. So as far as the heat of these coals, good moderate heat. They lie in between the hot and medium range, I would say. Your hottest, I'm going to say, is up there with Prestige. And this is how I would rank coals. I mean, it's subjective, I suppose, but I'm a hot smoker. So I would say you got Charcoal Flares and Prestige up at the top. Prestige is at the very top. Hottest coals I've tried, but very solid. Price point is really the only deterrent with those coals, honestly. But you pay for what you get. Except for with these, I mean, the price is crazy low. But you got Charcoal Flares and Prestige. Somewhere in the middle, you've got your Haze, because they're flats. They're actually pretty hot, but since they're flats, it's not quite as up there. And Coco Earth. Sitting at the bottom, you've got stuff like Coco Nor and Coco Naras, because they don't stay lit very well. It's not really an issue of composition, it's an issue of quality. But at the end of the day, I mean, I would easily take Coco Nors over Coco Naras. That's basics for me. Anybody who has an LG phone knows all about that beauty filter. If I was a girl posting on Instagram, I'd flip that on in a second. But being a man with a beard, it kind of just fades out all of the beard down to here into my skin and makes me look like a character from Mass Effect. So yeah. So what you see now is plumes. I'm actually going to take the lid off. It's getting kind of warm. But let's see what our time mark is at. It's now 10:31. It's got about 15 minutes, and there's really no change in these coals. They're still more or less full-sized. Provost helps a lot with that. So it's been near 15 minutes with nothing for me to go on. So I'm just ad-libbing it like Seinfeld talking about airplane peanuts right now. And that marks the first glass for the night, with many more to come. Okay, so we're at about the 50-minute mark. If you look, I don't know if you guys have ever used a small cube brand, but these are at 50 minutes, considerable size, pretty comparable to a small cube. Coco Nor used to make one. I don't know if they still do. before they had a downturn in quality. That was one of my favorites. But if you look, so bright red. No complaints. Alright, so that's the 50-minute. I will pop back in with another update shortly. Alright, so to take a quick look at these, pretty small. For me, the standard for cube coal would not be when they're literally disappeared. So we're sitting at about an hour and a half. And let's go ahead and take a look at the smoke. So you still have some smoke, but for me, the standard for when a coal is done is when the clouds are not to my liking. For this is noob cloud status. So I'm going to mark these dead at an hour and a half. I would say before they were completely toast, it'd probably be an hour 45. So definitely a good standard marking for a cube coal. Nothing to scoff at. So there you have it. That is the Ultimate Hookah New and Improved Cube Coals. Very excellent. Definitely gets my recommendation. Stays red hot the entire time. Don't have to ash if you don't want to. No complaints here. NEMO'S smokes.